KSM Show.
Thank you, folks. If I look extremely excited, it's because I am. You may have noticed something different today because today we're coming to you as usual, live from the Cactus Creek, but today we're coming to you in the daytime. Do you know why? Because my guest is a fireman. And you know, the fire people, they work in the night. When it's dark, then you see the fire. But he told me, today you come here. In broad daylight, we shall see fire. Show some love, man. But who do I have here? Let me give you a little history. You know, I have this man, and I invited several weeks ago. Coincidentally, the date we set was today. It has nothing to do with current events, so I've not invited him here for current events. But this is what we said when I invited him. And when I introduce him when he comes, you know why I'm adding this editorial edition that we invited him long ago. Ladies and gentlemen, they call him Captain. I call him Field Marshal. The man is full of fire. They say when Captain speaks, people listen. So join me, show some love, and let's welcome the big man, Captain Smart. Show some love for the Captain, man. Hey. Captain, please.
That's it.
All right. So, folks, the Captain is the house. Shall I use it? 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 books.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books.
5 books?
Yes, 5.
When we come back, before I even start talking to you, maybe I say, Captain, books in everything, but stick around. Captain in the house, we'll be right back. Pure coconut oil. It is cholesterol free, it's fat free. It's the in thing now. The Akono pure coconut oil. And for anyone who is listening to me now, if you can call them now, they give you a very, very big discount. Whether you want it for yourself or you want it in huge volumes, you can call them now. And the number is 024 748 6673. Or you can WhatsApp on 020 615 1378.
The KSM Show.
We're back. And I told you, he's here, man. Captain,
Yes,
welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, boss.
It's amazing. You know, I was trying to get you way back. And somehow, it has coincided with the time where is Shogana how? You are turning everywhere.
I mean, I'm everywhere.
You're everywhere. They say, KSM Captain, I didn't work for Mr. Bio. Way before. I was trying to get him.
Way before, about 2-3 weeks ago.
2-3 weeks, yes.
Yes, and this whole thing happened just last week.
Yes.
It's less than a week, you know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But before I start, man, I see you are my first guest I've seen come on with 5 books. Upon Kwan.
If you're a young man, if you belong to the youth brackets, one of the things that can save you from the cruel African leaders is this thing: reading. Don't just read to know. You need to read to understand. There's a difference between knowing and understanding. There are a lot of Christians who know Christ, but they do not understand Christ. Some Muslims, they know Muhammad. They've heard about him, but they don't understand them. You need to read. But after reading, you must be able to understand.
You shouldn't know it, but you must understand it.
I can't read. What's that? Santasa.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Let me rewind quickly. First, you said the youth of Africa need to be reading to save us from the cruel leaders. Can you explain?
Uncle, look, I was telling a friend that leadership is like the movement of the earth. So many books have defined leadership as a straight kind of something. It is not true. 21st century, leadership revolves. So when you're a leader and you start from here, you are like the earth, moving along with the sun, moving along with the moon. So you have eclipse of the moon in your leadership, you have eclipse of the sun in your leadership. So when you get here and you are not able to solve the problem, you try to court the sun, you try to court the moon to create light for you here so you can wipe away the problem. So where there's no essence, you use eclipse to create the essence. So where there's no favor, where there's nothing like I can do it, you have light here. You court the sun, You caught the moon. So you can create it. But the African leader want to look at this way. So if it is MPP or NDC or APC in Nigeria, it's like this. So I see my members, my family members, my uncles, my cousins, everything. So human rights, human rights, human rights. But before, when God created us, he gave us human lefts as well. What happens to those of us who belong to the human left? We need to listen to everybody. So when you are whining round, you come here, you come back to meet me. So if you're a leader, you look back. You don't look always straight. You look back. 1, 2, 3, 10 people were following me 2 years ago. I 10 today. They are left with only 4. What happened? You ask the 4. What happened?
To the rest.
Yes. Maybe they left with fear. If they left because of fear, maybe they left because they're hungry. If they did that, maybe they left because there are no roads. Maybe they left because you did not give them positions. Maybe they left that because when they talk to you, you don't listen. Then you need to refer to this book.
The 50 laws.
The 50 cents. It will create the sense of understanding the paradigms of fear. Because fear is just nothing. It's an emotional fiat that builds a wall of nothing is possible around you and decrease, stop. That's it. So if you're a leader, and if you are following a leader, or you are being the ruled, you should understand that any leader is cruel. They can use you, manipulate you, re-engineer the faculties around you to suit their whims and caprices. But you must also produce your own modus operandi to see that, 4 years ago, also KVIP, one family, and Nadia also be see clinic mami. The KVIP kura 6 rooms went to me and see. Now hospital, kakrake with beds. I mean, then you should know that it is their strategy. And this is the strategy of the African politician, always making a fool out of the African. And this is the time. Age 15 to 45, we need to rise today, rise tomorrow, rise every day, rise every time, and demand that Africa should not remain where it is now. Why are we here? When you go to Zambia, the whole world, cobalt, that is used in every electronic appliance in the whole world is produced from Zambia. Zambia is supposed to get $2 billion every month. $2 billion a month, not 2 billion cedis. Billion dollars, billion,
a month.
B a month. Zambia sat down, said they have no money for this. They sold a 2 billion worth of a resource to an American company from Chicago.
2 billion a month.
A month to an American company for $33 million. Just $33 million. The American company gets to Zambia, puts banks together, a consortium, takes the $33 million from Zambia and pay the government upfront, take the money. And within 3 months, they made $7.1 billion. After making $7.1 billion, they sold the company to China. The Zambian youth is just roaming around the street as if they don't have brains. We do. We have the brains. We can solve our problems. But you know what? The African politician has taken the food away and keeping it in their house. They've taken the quality of education and given it to somebody else at the backyard. They have taken the resources and feeding their own selves without thinking there's tomorrow. All this put together, if the African child wants to go to school, they will say that, oh, I have built best schools, best teachers. We have the best professors, the best engineers, best PhD holders. Okay, so why is your child being educated in America? We have the best of hospitals, everything. When you are sick as the African leader, you go to London.
Yeah.
Nana Addo goes to London for medical care. Is that not correct? Bawumia goes to London for medical care. And when they are going, they lie to us.
They lie.
Yeah,
What
when
do
they are
say?
going for medical care, they lie to us.
They say what?
Oh, we were the president, the vice president, they are on 2 weeks leave. They need to attend certain conferences. Just the medical care. Omwa. Rollins. So Oyaria, ni minimum ya no cost Switzerland. Okwo ni minimum. But that time no catch and say why you kolebu ye. Professor Mills. O man who so no ko US. No ko US. John Mahama France. No ko. Na na do so UK ni ba me say catch order that. I didn't know we see hospitals am na monkombi. You see, when you do any good thing for somebody, if you say, I have done this for you, I have given you this book, it's full of wisdom, and you yourself, you are despising this, it means what you did for me is poison. If I eat it, I will die. That is why the hospitals, they told us that they've built for us. When we go in, we die. And they go to London, they go to America, they go to Switzerland, they die. And they have turned Ghana into cemetery. So you'll be here, there's an announcement. We are with deep heart to announce to you the death of a so and so minister, the death of the president, which happened in the United States of America. The whole country is grieving. Nonsense! You have turned this country into a cemetery. So when you go and you die, you want to be buried here. And you know why they want to be buried here?
Why?
You get it?
TV investment.
Yes. Yes, investment. So instead of them to sit down and see that, no, at the end of the day, Senior, we are the principal architect of our own lives. So
Let me rewind some because what if free? And I don't can I miss something be and me say me but you personally just you've always been fireman. Oja. But recently it seems that you have rocked the boat to how do I call it unimaginable levels. Number one, people say when I say at least the party in power is his party. Some even go as much as saying, say, who be? It's your good works, your promotion that brought the party in power. So didn't you know what you were promoting and why has Captain Smack gone berserk now? That's what I want to find out.
excellent, fantastic question. It's like having a beautiful wife that you love. You gave him money to go for shopping. She comes home and you met her insulting your mother. Because you love her, you not say anything. You would have to point the mistake to her that, hey man,
Don't
I
mess
love
with my
you.
mother.
But that's my mom that you were insulting. If you love me, you love my dog. So, yes, I would say it anywhere under the sun. I sympathize with the NPP and I am MPP. But because I love them, because I love the party, when I see anything wrong, Masa, man come on tomorrow. Makasa bruta. Because listen, when you care and you can't carry me, you don't care. Anytime you care, you carry. So if I care about you, when you are in trouble, I should be able to help you carry the trouble.
Yeah.
When you are in danger, I should be able to help you carry the danger because I care. Now, MPP is in trouble and it's a reality. People should not hide behind, we have done this, we have done that, we have done this, we have done that. No, that is not enough. Because if you tell me you have done this for me and you want to spend 2 hours telling me that you have done this, what is the essence of this? Nanado brought free senior high school. Everybody in this country is talking about free senior high school. Why? Because you can see it, I can feel it. But the others, I mean, what are we saying? The vice president told us that 2 years into the first term of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, no community in this country will complain about water, will complain about toilet facility. I live at Tantra Hills. I don't have water. And you want me to keep quiet? I will not.
But do you realize it's as great as it is, it's also a radical departure from the conventional Ghanaian thinking that if you say you belong to this party, then you whatever be sycophantly, let me put that word, sycophantly follow the party. So do you realize is a departure? Have you always been independent, or was it something that triggered you to finally go off and say,
Let me use traveling to abroad to answer this question. Anybody who is traveling to United States or UK sits at the departure hall. If you want to go to America, you must depart from Ghana. So if you want to see the light, you must depart from the darkness. So what I have decided to do is that I want to see the Ghanaian youth having job. I don't want a situation where the chief in my hometown would have to go beg the Minister of Roads that I need my road to be fixed. Why? Beg? Do you beg me to pay my tax? I don't want to see my hometown chief going to the Minister of Health. You completed the hospital. It's sitting in the bush. Please, come and open it for me. That should not happen. And the Ghanaian follow politicians blindly because the politicians in Africa, they are all blind. They see nothing.
So it's not only the followers that are blind. The politician they are following is also blind.
They are also blind. So they fall together. That is why when it's time for primaries, the delegates will tell you, if you don't pay me, I will not vote. So during party primaries, several millions of cedis are being spent for what? I do not have water in my community, and somebody is taking belt hook allowance. Have you heard of that story?
I heard it from you.
Belt hook. This one, senior. This one.
The belt hook.
This one. This hook.
They pay allowance for that.
Somebody is taking belt hook allowance. For the where? The last time I checked, somebody is taking bottom allowance. And I was like, really? I was asking, just inquiring. That, when we say managing directors, and sometimes I know more cover be a bottoms net to, and say, bottom allowance. 200 Ghana cedis. Bottom allowance.
Wow.
You have a managing director whose the amount of money he spent on his lunch for 1 month is 100,000 Ghana cedis. That is $25,000 US. And then we are ponko. Sabi ponko kura be di aduane $25,000. Ubusa no so na lunch then sometimes we have to go with other people, other dignitaries that visit our offices and blah blah blah. Abba. Senior. 100,000 though. That is gone. Let me read something from this book for you.
Which book is that?
This is my vision. Challenges in the Race of Excellence.
Okay.
This is coming from the Vice President of Dubai. Let me just read something small. Just that chapter 1. Chapter 1. Oh. With each new day in Africa, a gazelle wakes up knowing he must outrun the fastest lion or perish. At the same time, the lion stirs and stretches knowing he must outrun the fastest gazelle or starve. That is the first paragraph. Now, when you get to the third paragraph, this young and dynamic country, he's referring to Dubai, has achieved a great deal since 1971. I am jumping to the 10th paragraph, chapter 1. A nation's development, however, does not happen overnight or by accident, nor does the development of a nation ever stop once the process has begun. Just this one. Do you know what it means? This book is telling us that Africa, we are fools. And we've remained fools. And if we are not careful, we will remain where we are. This is my worry. This is my worry. Development in Africa happens by accident. Somebody sits.
Yeah.
Yes, it happens by accident. Somebody just sits somewhere. Oh, me sure didn't me call Konongo. Me want say Konongo kwine nye. Yanya Konongo kwine. Me tena say my Konongo. Omini hospital. Yenzi hospital. Yeah. Concept. Concept.
It is so true.
Concept. You see, development is conscious effort. You plan. It's like having a beautiful wife and you don't want to spend on her. Master Jana were an uncle. Because anything beautiful requires money. So if you want to develop this country, it must be a conscious effort. Your enemy must not become my enemy. Because your enemy is the friend to my wife. So if you are a leader, you allow people to deal with their enemies. And you deal with the people you can work with. Because, for example, there's somebody in NPP, when NDC is in power, you think that because he belongs to NPP, he's a political enemy. But that person is the right person to help you. So what did J.A. Kufuor do? When he assumed office, PV Obey is a typical NDC person. He's been with the Council of State. He's been a minister with Rawlings. He was the chief advisor to Rawlings. Kufuor said, no, please. Let the others see you as an enemy. I will see you as an ally. Come. Let's develop this country. So if you're a leader, it must be a conscious effort. You allow nothing to happen by chance. No. There can be a force majeure. I mean, it's natural. That's what everybody agree.
Yeah.
And common sense even tell you, say, first, na Ghana, na ye ya kwaba. Ladies, you say ukuta, calabash, na we try kwaba fe. If you are a leader, you look back. Why is it that? And then ladies, na ya calabash, but one person more slave queens.
Both of you. What
I say? If you're a leader, you turn back and you ask yourself, the beautiful young ladies' history will tell you, no, that alone was creating jobs. There was no nuisance in society. People were not parading nudity. Why is it that these days they want to have cameras on them, take naked pictures, post there? It means that somebody is actually not thinking. And let me tell you this, without apologies to whosoever is listening or watching, we are refusing to think. So we are becoming fools in our own wisdomic house.
We are becoming fools.
In our own wisdomic house. If you really want to develop, you don't use $25 million for a trophy worth $4 million.
Yeah.
Huh? What is that supposed to be? Meanwhile, when you win Miss World and Miss Universe, you have $7.5 million. So if it is about looking for international glory, external favor, external this, external acclamations, Ghana is this, Ghana is that. If I were the president today, you know what I'm going to do? We have 16 regions. Miss Ghana, where is Miss Ghana now? Where is Miss Ghana?
It's getting very exciting, Captain. I'm going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back,
I'll complete the story too.
We'll complete the story. Stick
story.
Around, man. Akono pure coconut oil. It is cholesterol free, it's fat free. It's the in thing now. The Akono pure coconut oil. And for anyone who is listening to me now, if you can call them now, they give you a very, very big discount. Whether you want it for yourself or you want it in huge volumes, you can call them now. And the number is 024 748 6673. Or you can WhatsApp on 020 615 1378.
The KSM Show.
We're back. And as you know, I'm hanging out with, I call him the field marshal. You can call him the captain. But he said something he says we are fools.
In our own wisdomic house. That's my own word.
Your own word?
Yes.
It will be called Google and me. But before we went for the break,
yes.
Now my analysis.
Good. You see, you say Bibia wa Africa to an extent, say yes, say ahonfe.
Yes, ahonfe.
Ahonfe cry, I say no. So I was telling you, so we a leader, you identify things a beboa. Because and the youth in Abano, open phone each. It is a Samsung earphone. Or no, I catch us a camera way, no, a phone way, no resolution, no, a question. Minimum cameras in Baby. I didn't try. They've seen, say, a mebuna airban per phone. I didn't tell baby and Crawford with Tressalifu. No, they are told, not just so called. Ain't it a per se, we ya dear be a befi be a bar. And your ball on ground, near $25 million. What do you need to do? Is to get one beautiful young lady, age 15, from each region, and you hand them over to the Minister of Women, Children, and Social Protection that groom them. You got to groom them. You watch the way they walk, the way they talk. You inculcate this leadership attitude in them. Why? Our attention is Miss World, Miss Universe. We are grooming 16 of them to go get it for us as people. So you see, or kakra. Oh, and the way I now kasano. As a nebufu, so we your bar or pesa o winnie bibia. Yem fe before nyade or public. Into toba siansa. Gentleman now free wono. E wo mu se na ne ho nhyeda nye clean, neat, the undress it said the assessor undress it. But because of where we want to take you, you need to accommodate, absorb, and appreciate everything. Nkakran. Enti ahofe kura yentimi anhwe so. Nti ene ye ma ye from slave queens.
What's slave queens?
Yeah, they are kwaba. Abe slave queen. Now, say Bibia.
So, Captain, basically what we're talking about is it's a disjointed psyche. It's a lack of priority. Everything is all missed. Now, let me ask you this. Say Mumma Bono, Muni youth. And I have said this publicly that I think our generation and the one before us, I think we failed. To the extent, say, we haven't left a legacy structures for you guys to inherit and build on.
God bless you.
Yeah. We have been conflicted. And that was my fear, sir. This legacy that we have left you, how are you guys, same legacy, into a positive movement for the youth?
Okay. Peter and Judas, they were all apostles of Christ. One had a bad day and one had a bad heart.
One had
a bad day and one had a bad heart. Peter had a bad day, saying that, oh, I'm not part of Christ's team. I am not one of them. Yes, you are Christo, ama. Peter so ye Christo mayo. But Peter had a bad day. He came back to the fold of Christ and grew the church. Judas had a bad heart, not a bad day. Ono so ye Christo mayo, but ono you know ye Christo mayo na meje kuno. No sanko gini tisusika. Sana African leader nitiye. They don't have a bad day, they have bad hearts. So the action is nothing. They want to crucify the future because they want to eat and get full today. So everything they do is not because they are supposed to do it. They are doing it because they want you to vote for them. So it is not because ukwan no abeye ukwan. Se kwan nye pa na won na dwum so person ya. We are there na we asphalt na 30 days na tutu. Why? Say a coin on us say no pese oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see the see Kotoka International Airport, the new one. 3 months in Soto and you know. And yes, I didn't need honor all you. Or pesa what to abamano. And watch this. MPBA near Koba election. And now MPBA resign near Koba election. You were 21 days at the Koba election in Obiso. She speed at the year quine. You two about whoever win or lose. Na quina started to do. It is not because of a soya quine or per vote. So they color fake. Huh? One fad ye fake. No more the color fahon. Now I present you more beautifully. One of the best one of the banajo. Enti kani ana toss wa asa a crystal. Fair. Ade chain ya na no. No aka so ade say nya so there be say ade nsan ye nso kane a. Enti age wo twɛn ne ye so kane a. Aswen hu say ade na efe. Ade be sana obe so kane na wakoto aba na ma na wi. Kane na obekɔ akɔso na dum so nso aba. You get a drift.
Yeah.
Na dum so nso aba.
Yeah.
Enti kane no emma. Enya adwen ne say oye ade a wo de kane be so obehu ne fe. Oye bibia be si ho keke. Na waje vote na okɔ. And this is what I'm saying, that they have succeeded putting fear in the African youth. Let me read something here for you. Alone in our minds. This is the 50th law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. This Robert Greene is the man who wrote the 48 laws of power.
Okay.
Alone in our minds, we can imagine we have all kinds of power and abilities. Our egos can inflate to any size. But when, this is page 198, I'm going to page 199. But when we produce something that fails to have the expected impact, we are suddenly faced with a limit. We are not as brilliant or skilled as we had imagined. In such a case, our tendency is to blame others for not understanding it or getting in our way. Our egos are bruised and delicate. Criticism from the outside seems like a personal attack, which we cannot endure. We tend to close ourselves off, and this makes it doubly difficult to succeed with our next venture. The next venture, I call it the future. So anytime the African youths rise to say that, I deal with Mr. Leader, a personal attack. I deal with you are getting my way. What happened to Afrifa? Ketechi Afrifa?
No happy FM.
Yes, what happened to him?
Yeah.
Anytime you want to rule, you must have the ruled in your mind. And every ruler should have a ruler. And all the leaders in Africa, they are rulers, but they don't have rulers. What do I mean by this statement?
I was going to ask you.
If you have a council of state so-called in Ghana, the constitution says what? Say we move to president to phone say opa. Omfa. I didn't know. Any other year. Not just I didn't yempe. But the person be keke. Esheho. Why? We a leader. Wo show what you know, who will be your show what you mount, what your show bunkum, what your show nifa, what or some boy no some showing. There's 4 people. That is what I call the 4 poles of power. I will finish that book very soon. When you are a leader, you must have 4 powerful poles around you. 1 on your left, 1 on your right, 1 behind you, 1 in front of you. And the one in front of you should not turn his back on you. He should be behind the crowd and face you. So when the crowd, when their height is 10 feet, you should get somebody who is 25 feet. I am talking about somebody with brains. So you get somebody whose brain is 25% better, richer, higher than the people demonstrating. So you can look at his face and he will communicate with you. He becomes your ruler. He's telling you what to do. There's one of these presidents we had in our country. That mentioned him, J. 2000 August there, but I think it was August 27th, 2000. I was then at a Palm Secondary School. Myself, him, I was young. Very young, 19, 20, thereabout. J. Kufo, I was there. The former Infantiman MP, he became information minister. Asamoah Boateng was there. Kwabena Japan was there. Osafo Mafu was there. Nana himself were there. They were doing the coastal area campaign. So I had to run away from a Palm Secondary School to come join. We got to one of these central region towns. There was a serious chieftaincy problem. We thought it was just chieftaincy, not knowing it was politically motivated, because J. Kufuor was coming. The MPP were going there to campaign. So people wanted to devise their own mechanism to stop J. Kufuor and the MPP to go there to meet the chief. He stood quiet. A lot of people say, "Yemfianko, yenyese."
So there was resistance.
Yes, there was resistance, serious one.
Yeah.
But Kufuor was cool and collected, and he was looking at one point. And he called somebody. No, we mpachomia, mpachomia Debbie. Wa mpacho ain bra. Then I see. Ya man ntokwa o. Ya ba say Ghana be yi. Enti na ya ba ye. Mekai wo hwa card mu a etodi aboba ni o. Ghana. Enti ya ba ye. na yɛbɛyɛ dɛn yɛtumi akɔkyia nana na ɔda ne question no ma aberanteɛ no ogyina hɔ da ɔwotwɛn kufɔ ɔwotwɛn ma mɛba ɔnwe santefo no wadwene wɔn dɛ yɛnyɛ nyimpa wu ɔnyɛ ha de wɔntwɛn mɛba. Then the guy went to where the youth had gathered and they were about demonstrating or resisting. Then he shouted, Asafu kwenyo, no majisu kwenyo. Quiet. Ono mkasaye, yante di okaye. He went to the palace, came back. Uncle, wame seme yanko. After that, everybody was looking at JA. That is why I keep saying that if you're a leader, you don't gag, you gauge. If you're a leader, you don't gag people from talking. You gauge the crowd. You gauge the communities. You gauge the people. You gauge the youth. Why are they demonstrating? Why are they shouting this time? They were very respectful Ghanaian youth, cool and collected. This time they are up in arms. Everybody is writing on social media, left, center, right, Facebook, everywhere. Why? You gauge them. Then you look through and pick one or two. Come, sit. Even if you don't want to solve the problem, you gauge and call, you invite. What's the problem? Oh, Captain Smart will tell you, Uncle, he catch him there about $1. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia said, watch dollars out today. The Safin or the former IGP. Son of former IGP or a retirement or the Safon Nico. And his son or the key Nico and key wire that down. And to Pune Bay, my dollar and Wabba Bium. Na dollar the San Rocco. Enti catch about me, no Sancho dollar, no for Saf anymore, Pombueno, current IGP. So you gauge, you don't gag. And then you bring them. You can look through. And then you say that no. So a man was on Koda. And seen a man on Kodo. Few things. For you to be able to know that you are really developing the people. When there's one thing in the world I hate, GDP. I hate GDP. Gross domestic product. That nonsense. And our GDP so chromodum so that excuse my French. That rubbish.
GDP free.
Then your friend GDP. I am talking about Human Development Index.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about GDP.
Yeah.
Tell me how the people in the communities, the people in the country, they have been developed. Then you pick one child from there. If you want to know that educational system is equal, don't bring the child to Accra. Maninka Montomuso. You pick one at Akachiabo in the Volta region. You go to Sandema in the northern region. You go to Wa, you get somebody from the Upper West region. Then you go far away to Boga, from the Upper East. And then from there, you pick these people. You are still watching and observing. In terms of education, you are providing. When you go there and you ask them, what is an atom? And they are not able to define an atom for you at Montomurusu, and you come to Accra, and the Accra child is able to define atom, it tells you there's a problem. What's the problem at Montomurusu? Maybe the books are not good, or the teachers need some refreshing courses.
Yeah.
You give them that training.
Yeah.
So you distribute equality, you distribute wealth, you distribute knowledge. You can even distribute passion. You can do that. So akwadano otinwura mu ho no. Ono so timi define atom. Na the otinkra timi define atom. The owosehwi define atom. Then you can say that no, in terms of education, we are making progress. Now what picky woman? Now wo hwe enti odi 12 years no. Na life it is saying what they compare the otinkra dance woman, the oti is the gone. Life no ho no it is saying what do we do to bridge the gap? Then it tells you good roads. Wo dwen be hu sa akwada na fam futuro kwan so nti de bia na okofe ni minum ye ne ya onya cold onya kata nti ontimi ndwen yi ekom de no you quickly look at that, go fix the road, you go and you fix the hospital, you go and you fix the school. Then you can say that akwada no so say that's the nkonimu nti ommo wa biom nti adenti na sa akwada no ontimi nsua de na onkonanim akwada ni nkran o owo Montomuruso. Then you can sit down again as a leader, gauging, not gagging. that me buy and me ye wo kwan into Kawanu to Mama Hospital into Menkasa. No, you don't gag, you gauge. You look at it again. What's the problem? Road to aha, say dust and ko mu. Hospital waha, wo yare a wo ko. School no so aye papa. Insuo waha, aye den. Maybe there's something I call fear. Fear. It's a weapon. Maybe fear is working on the child. Maybe akwada no hwade ani din no teacher ni bi kro ba school ho no the way you see by ye na you say omiemia no akwada ne suro. So you use all these factors and procedures and processes to develop from afar.
Yeah.
But ye ha no ye bebu ajaje for dan. Na ye bu ankran baby. Na ye dwiri aha ye dwiri en say Ghana is Accra, Ghana is Kumasi, Ghana is Takrade. Finito.
Let me just interrupt here. Because you use this quotation a lot. You gauge, you don't gag.
Yes.
Do you feel gagged?
Myself?
Yeah. Or is there an attempt to gag you? They're taking you off air, sir. For 1 month, they see air.
Oh, hey. Have they taken me off air? I'm now on air.
You're on They don't.
I am on air.
You're on air.
I am on air.
Yes.
You see, it is in the school of life. You don't need to be tolerated. You need to be celebrated. In the school of life, you don't have to be tolerated. You must be celebrated. Anytime you think about toleration, you have failed. So I hear people, you need to tolerate them. Don't. I want to be celebrated. So the things I do today, people cannot comprehend. Is he one of the same Ghanaian youths that we know? Yes, Captain Smart is one of the Ghanaian youth. Is he the same person, one of the Pentecost church members we know? Yes, I am a member of the Church of Pentecost. Is he the same Ghanaian? Yes, I am the same Ghanaian. But I don't want you to tolerate me, because when you begin to tolerate me, I'll come knock your door for my rent. When you tolerate me, I will come knock your door for fuel. I don't want to be one of the presenters who go stand at the fuel station and call honorable, can you please send me Momo to pay my fuel? Nonsense. I want the future to celebrate me. Like the future celebrated Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. The future celebrated Patrice Lumumba. The future celebrated Thabo Mbeki. The future celebrated Nelson Mandela. So if I am crucified today, I am being fixed for tomorrow. So you see it as crucifixion. People may see that he's been taken off air. No, I see it as an opportunity to be able to find an avenue to lead the Ghanaian youth, create the opportunity, fix the problem, help them to talk, help them to understand, help them to see, help them to gauge, and pull the politician and ask him, Master, why didn't you do this when you promised me you're going to do it? Then when I am no more, the future would say that, there was one broadcaster. His name was Captain Smart. If he were here, he would have spoken about this. I don't want to be put in anything. In the beginning, let me read one thing to you. And you see, that's why I brought books. The youth of this country. Masaminko University though. I am not a graduate. If you have the certificate, then you are a graduate. If you don't have it, you will not. I completed a Palm Secondary School. All right? 2000. Campaign, elective mass, meant to me control. Yes, I'm telling you today. So where we are coming from, it's a far place. And where we are heading towards is also the future. So it's far. Even though future is far, if you want the future, you can create it today. And you would enjoy it in the future. And remember now, especially youth of today, when you sika and na, men find him mato. Girls no soon jai. So I'm doing music and radio and my mema dino. A chum. Men so we can and my mema.
I hope the youth you are listening. I hope you are listening.
Let me look into the camera and tell them well. Look,
tell
listen.
them.
When you sika, we are bear man find him mato. Man, when you sika, Mem for your bar and fan conwedian in my bemani. When you sika fasie. Dibi. Fabi says you wanna ball life. Look good. Na di aduane papa. What I say? But sikane di ebekano fasie. So that you can be independent. The only problem in Africa is that the African youth is not independent.
Yeah.
Because our parents were not independent. We need to begin to be independent. Yeah, you a different radio station, Facebook, New Rati America, new radio station, you can set up something on Facebook. People are on YouTube. They have 1 million following. They get more than $5,000, $10,000 a month. You want somebody to always be ruling you. That's wrong. If they are putting fear in you, there's power in fear. You can use that fear to actually create an avenue for your own self. So the African youth must understand that some kwakwafo ye wo hose say. Me makao na na do wi a ye mpa kwakora biam ye wie.
Senior, I never quite have me before you continue at this point because they be a mecano say Mabuno will mates no youth group no. Sane ya quote unquote kokra ye. Nina na mugususuan e kokra nyam wana motomo. You are 70% of our electorate. Now jina ho abrantees so but you better am kokra. Eti how do you figure that out? Say en kokra ya ye ka ho asemi. I will say ya makokra be mamui. E mabunu sana moka.
Wahu en kwakra no anya sika no sie. You see, majority of the time, in the part, especially the youth, ye shed and quacrafone ye. Ena ye yebi. By yen tear the quacrafone canon ye no. When him say what the old does is different from what they say.
What they do is different from what they say.
I tell you, the African politician, they are no. Different from the oka. Or wasumuwa no afa maya ne do ko Dubai. No atoto cars amao. Obejina campaign platform no so o se me fix kwan ti yentie de omo ka no me ye hwe de omo ye no. Anytime you only look at what your leaders are doing, you will copy their mistakes and you may not be able to see success. But when you listen to what they say, you can hold them to it. Because we a teacher in our bon, me chira me bad here. We a teacher in our
So listen to what they say.
Yes. Don't do what they do, but listen to what they say. Listen to them with your eyes.
Listen with your eyes.
Yes, listen with your eyes. And see with your ears.
Ear.
You see, body language is one of the most powerful tools in the world. The African youth do not know. We don't know the essence of body language. When the politicians are lying, they always look to the left.
Really?
Watch the campaign videos.
When they're lying, they also
Watch the campaign videos. I am asking the media to start publishing campaign videos. When they are lying, you see, the crowd is supposed to face you, look into your eyes. But anytime you see it this way, when the African politician is talking, listen with your eyes. May ye kwang, may ye nsuo, may ye say yedi ani na ehwe. Sabi ekwan, ye mfa aso nhwe o. Yedi ani na ehwe. Enti say o kan fo ani hwe. 2 years later, ko hwese kwan no wa ya.
Captain, we'll end it here.
Thank you.
Because time, the speed is here. But it's quite. I want you to finish off. So let me end it here, and then, folks, next week, I'll get the captain back, and then we will wrap up. Tie all the few loose ends that are left. So in the meantime, I'm calling you Field Marshal. And I hope for Captain. So, folks, we'll be right back next week. We'll give the captain a few more minutes to tie loose ends. So until next week, when I'm back, KSM signing off, saying, I am out of. Let the whole world say.
KSM Show.